Welcome to another edition of Laurie Maves Art Live Intuitive Painting. Melissa, thanks for joining. Today, we are going to revisit this it's not super large, but this painting, which I think is now becoming an underwater seascape. I think that's where it wants to live. I think that's who it wants to be. So we're going to go with that today because I almost gave up on it earlier, meaning I was going to shit can the whole thing. But I set it aside. I took a break from it for about a couple of weeks. And I was looking at it again today, and it really feels like underwater coral. So I'm going to go in that direction. If you guys have questions while I'm painting, please put them in the chat. Pete and repeat. Thanks for joining. The peat. I love the smell of peat. That's from my days in Ireland many, many, many years ago. Okay, so what are our materials today? We are using oil paint. I'm trying to get some gloves on here because I still see a lot of people painting online or painting live, and they don't protect their skin. Let's retire that glove. And our skin obviously is our greatest, the organ on our body, and we absorb all these toxins through our skin. So if you're painting, I see a lot of people painting with their hands, and it's fun and it's great. It's amazing to be connected to the surface you're working with. But you should really protect your body from the heavy metals that happen to exist in a lot of oil paints. So if you have a friend that paints and they paint a lot with their hands, and they do this all the time, like, look what I got on my hands. It's not a good thing. So have them protect themselves. Okay, if you have questions, go ahead. I don't even think I'm going to be counting today. Sometimes I paint and count, but I'm just kind of going to hone in on what these shapes are going to roll out as. They feel really like coral. So we'll paint for about a half hour. And if you have questions, please ask them. If you have comments, try not to heckle me. Try not to heckle me. Somebody knows who I'm referencing. You know who you hecklers are out there in the world. The 365 days of travel watercolors. Welcome. Welcome to my oil painting. Okay, I got to move this board. Okay. Okay, let's come right here, huh? I've got some nice blues and greens. I'm not counting today because what I wanted to focus on, I was painting a little bit before I turned the camera on, is what it feels like to be underwater, what it looks like, even if it's kind of in an imaginary space underwater, and how those plant those plants and animals and underwater creatures, how they just kind of have this beautiful, elegant flow to them. So that's what I'm trying to connect with in my painting today is just the feeling, that feeling of underwater flow. And I've already decided that if the colors aren't 100% correct, that's okay, right? Who cares? Who cares? We can always go back and change it later. I think that's one of the things I see a lot with students or with people that come paint with me or have painted with me in the past, especially if you're just doing intuitive painting, which is wonderful, right? Intuitive painting for me is just painting where the painting wants to go. Take the paint where it wants to go. Try not to plan so much. So here it is a loose plan, like I'm kind of following the structure I've already set up here, but I'm not painting from a photo. I'm not painting from real life, obviously. I believe in my mind I'm actually underwater somewhere. And that's interesting metaphor. But anyway, if you ever have snorkeled or swam underwater with plant life, it's a really beautiful, tranquil thing if you can get beyond worrying about sharks. And this paint never ceases to amaze me, this oil paint. It's like you'll come up with a new color, even though a lot of times I try to keep the color palettes very limited because even if you work with 3 or 4 colors, your color palette can be quite extensive. Mixing those 3 or 4 colors together continuously, you don't need 20 different colors on your palette. You only need a few, but then maybe a willingness to mix those and see how they can all be related. Hmm. So this is reminding me, my husband and I went ahead and we got our scuba certifications. Oh my gosh, now. It was more than 10 years ago. And we went through the whole course and exam and we bought all the equipment. And it was something we thought we were going to do. And then we just couldn't get beyond the shark factor. Too bad for us because we're also fishermen and we know it's swimming around down there. And we just couldn't get past the fact that we were going to be eaten in a moment's notice. So we stopped scuba before we began. And then there were a few times we went snorkeling. And even then we were like, yeah, no. So maybe he and I were both eaten by sharks in our last life, but can't get can't get beyond it. I don't know. I need some real heavy therapy to get me beyond my shark phobia. Maybe I need to be hypnotized. I don't know. If any of you listening here have gotten over shark phobia, let me know how you did it. I love sharks, don't get me wrong. I think they're fascinating, beautiful creatures. I just, and I know they don't want to eat humans. I know this. I know this in my mind that we are not an ideal meal for them, but I just can't seem to get beyond. And that's okay. I don't have to scuba dive. See, I can just paint it. All those people who are scuba diving for or what they're going to see, they could also just paint it in their mind. This process cracks me up. So if you're watching and you're still watching, I don't know how many people are watching. God bless you for joining me. I'm sure there's a million things you could be doing with your day and watching some woman paint shapes. Oh, I really like how this blue is coming up. Okay, let's move back over here. Make some of these a little more flowy. I think that's too light. I don't know if 365 Days of a Watercolor Person is still on here, but if anybody else paints with watercolor, you know it's a very challenging, it can be a very challenging way to work. You have to work with the lightness of the paper. I was always a little heavy handed for watercolor, but maybe I'll give that a go here after my oil painting stint. I wonder how many kids these days are learning how to paint. I was thinking about that the other day. I took some of my acrylic painting supplies over to a neighborhood charter school, and it's a charter school for the arts, which is wonderful. And I haven't met the staff yet, but I'm just curious, like how many kids even like to paint? Are there kids that want to paint anymore? Or is this something that will go away like the dinosaurs in our increasingly world of digitization, in our increasing digital world? What will happen to painting? Okay, this is coming along, Lori. Mhm. Okay, so I've got some movement this way. Oh, look at so much it knocked me over. I was underwater. So let's keep that going. Let's keep moving the shapes in that direction. I think a little bit. That's kind of has a cool effect. Yep, let's keep that. Let's keep this going because I felt earlier this part was a little stagnant. But again, right, if you're underwater, something's always moving, just like in our bodies, even when our bodies are very still. Obviously, there's movement still with our heartbeat. Mm. Super quiet today. It's good because it's a Friday. Yeah, that's got a much better feeling here of movement. I'm gonna change the camera and bring you guys a little closer here. Don't like sharks ever since Jaws. Love diving. Wasn't worried about sharks. If you're afraid, that's that. Yes, you're painting the water anyway. I know, Josie Wilson. I don't know. Maybe I need to have hypnotism or something. You guys, thanks, Jennifer. Oh, you should sound beautiful. Thank you. 65 days of watercolor. Thank you. Uh huh. Okay, kids, I'm going to bring you down here. Hold on for a second. Yeah, Jaws ruined the water for me, that's for sure. And I know if you look at Jaws now, it's so ridiculous, right? It's like, look at that big metal machine Spielberg had swimming around, but I can't get it out of my brain. Okay, kids, I'm going to keep going here for a few minutes. If you have any questions, let me know. I know it's super chill today. Super chill. Super, super duper chill. I guess I could move the painting up a little bit instead of crouching. It's, you get lazy. I don't want to move the painting. And then we end up doing gymnastics. But, it's funny. So my husband and I, we live, Ralph, my husband Ralph's on. I don't know. I can't see the screen. We live near Sarasota, Florida. So they call it the Sun Coast. And all these people, move here. A lot of people move here for retirement. We kind of moved pre-retirement, but now he's in basically retirement, semi-retirement. I don't think I'll ever retire from painting, but you never know. And all these homes down here are set up. A lot of people don't like to look at homes if they have a second story because they don't want to do stairs. And it's just this thing that Americans start to think about when they get older. They're like, well, we don't want a place with stairs. And compare that to Italy and these old mountain towns in particular, where there are hills and people live in homes with stairs and and climbing, and it's just a part of life. And the more you do it, the better your body stays with the capacity to move up and down stairs. But if you stop doing stairs because you're in your retirement and you don't want to do stairs, you can't be bothered by stairs. Well, then your body starts to stop having the capacity to do stairs. And we were laughing about this the other day because we have these friends in Abruzzo whose home is a series of apartments and flats over 4 levels. And our friend's mother lived to be 107. And she was climbing stairs every day of her life. This woman lived through a bombing in World War II, actually got shrapnel, was hit by a bunch of shrapnel in her head, survived that. And at 107, every day, she was doing stairs. Up until the day she died, she was doing stairs. Mm, do you think that means if you stop doing stairs, you're going to live longer? I think we should just keep doing stairs. Americans want things so convenient and so easy, to their detriment many times, right? Okay, enough of that. All right, I'm going to wrap this up with you guys today. I'm going to keep going, but I suppose that's enough for a live stream today. But I'm much happier with the direction this is going now. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. So this is going to continue. I'm going to come up and do this part today and maybe add some white here. Compelling, compelling video. I hope I've been really great entertainment for you today. I hope I've given you some things to consider, whether it be if you're going to swim with sharks, if you're going to get your PADI certification, if you're going to try oil painting. You might want to try 365 days of a watercolor practice. And you might want to consider stairs. You guys are brilliant. Joy found here. I'll have to see you here next time because I'm about to log off, but thank you for logging in. You guys have a great rest of your day. It's 11 o'clock here, wherever you are in the world. Enjoy. Ciao, ciao.